Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about a response. I'm going to be giving my response, rather, to a recent video that had included me in it. And in this person's video, this astrologer, well, I'm not going to say his name. He was nice enough not to say my name in his, so maybe I'll reciprocate and return the favor, so to speak. But it's an astrologer that wears, that hat or cap or whatever, and he's got at least one feather in it, like the feather in the cap. I'm sure most of you know who I'm referring to. But anyway, he included me in the video in his basket of deplorables, but I do appreciate the fact that he said that I wasn't guilty of anything fraudulent or unethical, which was the main theme of his video. I thought that was cool anyway, but however, the first thing I want to touch up on what he said about me in the video. He made one mention first. As far as our situation went with our astrological videos we did on each other, okay, he's saying this is the sequence of events. He claimed that he took the one he did of me down, and then he reached out to me and asked me to take my video about him down. I honestly did not know that he attempted to write me. He stated that YouTube intervened and the video was ultimately taken down. What happened was I did get a message from YouTube that basically intimated that it needed to come down or they would review it and they may very well take it down. At that point in time, I had verified he had taken his video he did of me down. So subsequently, I took mine down of his. So, okay, so I'm thinking, okay, everything's a dead issue. I think, everything's okay at that point, but apparently maybe it isn't. So I'm going to get to that in a little bit. After verifying this, okay, what I wanted to say, he had said in his recent video that the video I did had slanderous things in it. I don't see that as being slanderous. I felt it was, it was basically a video basically defending myself against what I felt were attacks in the video he did about me. And remember, when he originally put that video up about me, he had stated the title was something like On Edwin Learnard. Then it was conveniently taken down for a little bit and then regurgitated, no pun intended of course, into this new title, Purging the Cosmos with Edwin Learnard, and using a photograph of me on it from one of my YouTube videos. Keep in mind, I never did that to him as far as my videos go. And anyway, and then the thing about it is, I felt like, I did take his video, the video I did of him down, I reciprocated, but now he's, he's put some new content in this video he did about, some fraud in astrology, which, he didn't include me in the main theme, in that part of it, as I stated before. And, that is one good thing, I guess I could say about, as far as anything pertaining to me goes in that video. However, the statement I have a problem with, though, is that in the video he did about me, he stated that I have a mental illness and some kind of antisocial personality disorder. He said this was based on emails he received from others, but when you get emails from others, assuming he's telling the truth, I don't know, we don't know if this is true. There's nothing evidence to corroborate this either way, but now let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that he did receive emails about this and somebody said that I had some mental illness. Well, where's the thing that actually corroborates this? Anybody can make statements about anybody at any given time. There's a thing called hearsay and supposition. Now, the thing about what's interesting with him, now, this came from a fairly, reputable source. I felt it was at least fairly reliable anyway, that he had at least at one time been taking some medication for mental illness. But I will go say, and unlike him, I'm going to be fair and objective about this. That doesn't mean 100% it's true because it's one source. Now, I had other comments I've seen about him, saying things like, oh, he's nuts or crazy and this and that, but we don't have the evidence in front of it to really to convict the man. I mean, there's a thing called, conviction without a trial, and I think that's maybe what happened with me in that video he did, talking about me in the beginning of it. So, the thing about it is, he referred to me as a motel man in the video. Now, the thing is, too, I mean, this is an investigation apparently that was done by a fairly prolific astrologer, and he had stated, according to his investigation on some blog online, that this astrologer actually is at home with his mother. So, people in glass houses, they shouldn't be throwing stones. That's just simply not fair. I mean, there's no perfect person in the world, and when you do videos in a hotel, you know what, I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I don't think there's anything deplorable or demoralizing about that. People, if they understood in Nashville, Tennessee has one of the highest nightly rates, I believe, or daily rates for a hotel. And really, they're very extravagant. The average price for a week in a hotel, I would guess, would have to be at least $300. That's just a guess, though. And $300 a week, I mean, that's a lot more than some people in the world, United States, whatever, are paying in a month. I mean, you have to have money to actually be in a hotel. Do people not realize it? Now, the conditions in a hotel, I understand they might sometimes be dilapidated. You might have a lamp that's on its edge or something, but you still have to have money to afford it, and you don't. And to me, that shouldn't be a reflection on the person, himself or herself, whoever is in a hotel situation. Unfortunately, we do have a very strong stereotype that surrounds that, though. Anyway, the thing about it is, he also stated something about he had, we had some conversation on Facebook or whatever, and I blocked him. Yes, I did block him. I took what he was saying was a little bit of an attitude, a little bit belligerent. That was just my perception of it, and that is why I ultimately blocked him. That is just, I'm telling you my side of things. Now, the one thing I will say, coming to near the end of this video, is that he could have been a lot more, I guess you could say, derisive or derogatory about me. He really didn't say anything super negative. He just made some statement, which has to be, it's a fabrication, because I know I don't have a mental illness, stating I have a mental illness and some social anxiety disorder. I think I would know if I was diagnosed with that. So either one thing happened, either he legitimately got these emails from people, and they did say this, or he's just making this up just so he has an excuse to say something negative about me. And it's funny. I had some people trying to discourage me and say, "Hey, don't do this video. Why are you going to do that? You're wasting your time." Well, the thing about it is, in this lifetime, we have to stand up for ourselves many instances. You and I, whoever watches this video knows darn well, in most cases, you won't get many people that will stand up for you. They will tuck their tail in between the proverbial legs like there's no tomorrow constantly. And so this is about standing up for oneself. And what's sad is when people make videos like this, the negative derisive videos, that what happens is they inspire others to make negative comments about the people in the video. Somebody made a comment about me on the comment section of his video and said something like, "Oh, Edwin copied this guy, the motel man. He copies words word for word from websites." And she was saying that they were websites that I went. Well, I got news for you. When you're doing things connected with astrology, whether it's videos or writing, a lot of times, coincidentally, you're going to be using the same or similar words that are in text, that are in videos, that are in books. Like say I'm talking about Pluto, right? It's Pluto Scorpio energy. I mean, you're going to use the words a lot of times power, control, regeneration, rebirth, transformation. Those are words that are commonly associated with that theme, with Scorpio and Pluto. I would like for that lady to take a lie detector test, actually, you know, and see what would happen. I would like to see that, see if she even believes what she said. I'm not saying she doesn't, but it would just be interesting to see. Maybe could she pinch more than an inch prior to the test? Well, I would say probably so. Also, somebody else left a comment on the video and said something about Saturn, in my chart, something about Saturn conjunct the ascendant and pessimism and low energy. Well, that's fine if they want to say that, but what people have to know is I also have Mars conjunct my Sun, and which could actually give very strong vitality and energy. So just so he knows, well, maybe, I mean, this guy, I guess I have to excuse him. Maybe his Mercury is weak in his chart or debilitated or whatever. Maybe there's a space between his ears mistaken for a black hole. Just saying. Well, this is about the end of the video. And actually, I'm going to conclude with this, a little surprise ending. What I'm going to do, and I hope the person that did, this video and talked about me in the beginning of it, he knows who he is, and he probably is, he's ultimately going to see this inevitably. I'm going to unblock him from at my email. He knows my email address, my regular email address. And I'm going to unblock him from that. It's the Yahoo email address. He should remember what it is, I think. And I will give him an opportunity to write me about this, and we could, maybe get some closure on this once and for all, because, I'm really tired of having to come in and defend myself in, what I thought was what really was actually a dead issue, which should have died a while back. Like I stated before, he took his video down of me. I took mine down of his. I thought that was it right there. He would go his way, I would go mine. But apparently, I mean, I'm just basing it on what he stated, that he obviously has, it seems like there's still some animosity toward me. So, you know what, if that's what it is what it is. But I will give him an opportunity to write me if he chooses to do so. I'll leave the door open, so to speak. I guess metaphorically speaking. I got the door closed behind me, you could see, so. But I'll leave the other, I'll leave the light on for you, right? I'll leave my door open, metaphorically speaking. I will unblock him, and it's my Yahoo email address, and he will have an opportunity to write me. I think what might have happened was, I think he may have attempted to write me, give him the benefit of the doubt. And because it was blocked, he couldn't get through. I think in some emails that people have, sometimes they don't let the sender know it was blocked when it was sent. So he might have just assumed that I ignored him, and that was not the case. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my response to those comments about me in that recent video that was done. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.